Hello guys, welcome to the channel for Manny. In today's video, we are doing the camera comparisons of the Galaxy S24 Ultra versus the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And this is the green color versus the titanium gray color of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And in addition to the 10 MP periscope telephoto over here is a 50 MP periscope telephoto. But this was a 10x optical versus this is a 5x optical. Does it have the impact in your real life? Yeah, let's find out. The camera UI. So camera UI. And you can see in the portrait mode as well as the photo mode, there is a new addition to the 5x for the Galaxy S24 because of the new telephoto sensor. And apart from that, if you look at the more and if you go to the pro video mode, there is a UHD Ultra HD at 120 FPS. That's a super smooth mode which is available, but actually it's limited just UHD at 60 on the Galaxy S24. So that's a new addition on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. So guys, let's start off with the camera samples. S23 Ultra is on the left and the S24 Ultra on the right, and at a glance you could not notice any difference in this pic. And let's see another one, and actually this is a bit of struggling situation and both are not that great. And next, move to the next scenario, and this is the 100x shot which is taken over here. And if you observe really close, if you ask me which has more detail, obviously the Galaxy S. If you look at this area, you can see obviously there is a more low detail for the Galaxy S24 Ultra. If you look at the S24 Ultra, it is almost smoothened and gone, but actually you can see preserved more details on the Galaxy S24 Ultra with the 100x. But the thing is, which is more saturated, obviously the Galaxy S23 Ultra is a bit saturated, or not bit, it's a bit more saturated. You can see these colors are really sharp, but actually which is the exact color? This is the exact color which is taken on the Galaxy S24. This is the 1x which is taken on both of them at the portrait modes, and if you look, both are really stunning. I couldn't tell much differences. And if you observe really close, S24 Ultra is a bit eye placing, but actually we can give it a try. Anyways, you guys judge. And next pick, this is the 2x which is taken on both of them, and again if you observe really close, actually the Galaxy S24 Ultra gives a bit more eye placing. You can see the yellow color is a bit sharp in this portrait mode, and that's I personally like. And that's next one. This is the 3x shot which is taken on both of them, and again you can see at that difference over here, the S24 Ultra is a bit ahead of the S23 Ultra. If you observe these areas, you can see, if you observe clearly, you can see the S24 Ultra has a minor edge, not a big minor edge over here. And next, another shot. This is a 3x versus 5x there because of the new 5x telephoto. Now the S24 Ultra can get even closer, so that's a clear win for the Galaxy S24 Ultra over here. And now let's move to selfies. And in selfies, we can see a very light, to be precise, a bit light or warm on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. But actually the S24 Ultra preserve the exact natural colors of me. And if you observe the hair strands, actually you can see this is a bit blackish versus this is my exact true color of my hair. So that's that's based upon your preference. If you like a bit saturated, and then you can preferably take the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Else you can directly go with the natural tones, natural tones with a bit vibrancy is the S24 Ultra. And next, another shot, and you can see in this scenario the warmness of the S23 Ultra is a bit higher. You can see this is the S23 Ultra on the left, and this is the S24 Ultra, and you can see this is the exact tone of mine, and this is well preserved on the S24 Ultra versus this, you can see it's a bit warm tone on the S23 Ultra. This is the macro shot which I have taken on both of them with the ultra wide lenses, and you can see a clear difference, which is brighter. Obviously the S24 Ultra is brighter, but which have more detail. If you observe really close, the S24 Ultra takes a bit more detailed shot over here, but S23 Ultra manages the light really well. I would repeat, really, but actually this area is entirely gone dark. That's why the beauty of this pic is gone. But I prefer the S23 Ultra for the brightness, but for the detailing, I prefer the S24 Ultra. That's about your preference. Next is a 50p mode on both of them, and if you look both of them, there is a color tone difference. You can see this is a bit more greenish over here. On the right, this is a bit more natural. So I would, this upon your preference. If you are into the saturated one, then you can obviously pick the S23. Else you can just go with the S24, and both preserve the details really well. Just their difference is the matter of colors. And next is another shot, and in this shot also, if you observe this area is really close, you can see this is a bit natural. This is the exact color of this vehicle, and you can see this is a bit, I would say, a bit blended or bit saturated on the S23 Ultra. So if you're a person who is using the iPhones for a long time, and if you just switch to the S24 Ultra, then you could not tell much difference. Obviously, an iPhone, maybe some iPhone users, I wish it had a bit more saturated. Yes, that's happening on the S24 Ultra. And actually, the S23 was in a sweet spot between the saturation and between the natural tones. And this is S24 Ultra is getting more towards the natural tones. 100x shots, which is on the both these two phones, and over here you can clearly see a difference in the color tones. Actually, there is a lot happening with the color tones over here, and this is S24 Ultra, whereas this is the S23 Ultra. I would just, and you can see this feels like these are two objects, but actually these are the same thing, which is taken on the exact same time at all, and the details preserved are almost same, and that's upon your preference. And how I see with my naked eyes is almost like this, but actually I couldn't zoom, like I have just a 1x camera in my eyes, so I couldn't zoom further. But actually at a glance I think this is the original image. I don't know the exact reason because I couldn't zoom in further, right? So anyways, you guys are judge which one do you personally like. I think this is the exact thing versus this is saturated. You can see exact details is preserved, but actually this is a bit saturated over S23 Ultra. Next, now it's time for the night shots and S24 Ultra versus the S23 Ultra. And you can see these reflections are heavily on the S23 Ultra versus this is well managed. You can see, yeah, a minor reflection is there, but still the S24 Ultra managed really well. And next shot, and in this shot, I don't prefer these two of them. Actually, two of them have a lot of noises, and there really is a lot of smoothing happens on these two of them. And next is another night mode, and again the same thing happens. You can see this is a really yellowish versus this is a exact true natural color on the S24 Ultra. So the natural, and next another shot, you can see reflections highly, and both of them have the reflections. But the S24 Ultra, if I just pick the S24 Ultra over here, and if I just go to the gallery, and if I just select that pic which we are shown, I think this is the one. So this is the same pic on the S24 Ultra, and if I just tap the eye icon over here, you can see three options. One is a background blur, which is also on the S23 Ultra, and there is remaster, which is also on the S23 Ultra with the 106. But you can see erase reflections. If you just tap over here with the help of AI, it would erase completely the reflections. You just take a closer look at that area. Oh, sorry, just closer look at that area. I will just, this is the previous one, this is the current one, this is the previous one, this is the current one. So with the help of AI, you can just remove the reflections, which is a really cool part for the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And next is another shot which is taken on the lower light also, and you can see clearly the S24 Ultra maintains the natural versus a bit saturated, or a high pleasant one is obviously on the S23 Ultra. That's based upon your preference. Now next is really struggling situation because the light is coming from background, and you can see this is the S23 Ultra, and I would say the S23 Ultra managed well on this scenario. We can see still your face is visible, the details on the shot is just visible, and if you look at the Galaxy S24 Ultra, it's almost gone. Like you can see the face is not, and also my shirt colors, everything is just gone, and it's in the complete darkness. So that's a preferably clear win for the S23 Ultra. The situations is get changing. This is the S23 Ultra versus S24 Ultra. Lot of warm tone is. I already mentioned that warm tone is in the normal photos, in the normal daylight situation, but the warm tone get extreme in the low light. You can see the clear, see, lot of this is happening in really warm tone versus this is the exact true natural color. It's in the night mode. So that's a clear win for the S24 Ultra on the right. And next another shot, again the same thing on the this shot also. You can see warm, it's heavy warm on the S23 Ultra versus it's perfect on the S24 Ultra. So that's another clear win. And this is a 3x shot versus 5x shot. Even in the 5x, the 5x, the S24 Ultra also taken the same warmness from here, but not that, but still it's a bit warm on the S24 Ultra in the 5x, but in the 3x it's done a really good job. But at a glance, which is more warmer, obviously the S23 Ultra, but actually this is also is warm over here, but actually, so I am just keeping that right away. And next 5x versus 3x, and if you observe really close, the details are well preserved. If you observe this area, you can see this is blended, and if you observe this is perfectly visible over here. So that's a clear win for the S24. That's because obviously of the 5x new periscope photo camera. hand side is S24 Ultra, on the right hand side is the S23 Ultra, and you can see this is the 23 Ultra, and the colors is really different. You can see the white is well preserved on the S24 Ultra, and you can see the red color, that blue color is well preserved, versus actually I feel like this is a bit spread out, or a bit noise is happening in the S23 Ultra. And let me take another pic, and same thing, yeah, you can see the it's a spreading of the noise, and a lot of noises is in the S23 Ultra. I'm not mentioning it's bad, you can see still the light is bit spread, versus this is perfectly perfect. You can see that's perfect blended the light with that Alexoli logo and all, so that's a perfect blend. Anyways, that's based upon your preference, because this is saturated. You can see the white is really sharp white, versus this is that natural blend color of the S24 Ultra. And next is regarding the 100x zoom on these two of them, and this is the S23 Ultra versus the S24 Ultra here. And you can see the red color as well as white color is really sharp and vibrant on the S23 Ultra, versus the S24 Ultra manages a natural tone. That's why it have a pale red, pale white tone. And at a glance, which one is eye pleasant? In the night shot, I prefer the S23 Ultra's 100x, but in day shot, I prefer the S24 100x shot. Director's view on the Galaxy S23 Ultra versus the dual recording on the S24 Ultra. And the best part is the Galaxy S23 Ultra's director's view can switch between the lenses even after you take that video. You can see in between the video you can switch between the lenses, but on the S24 Ultra, even before the video only, you can switch between the lenses, which I think there is an advantage for the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Next is front camera recording, and at a glance you can see both are really stable, but actually if you observe really close, the face on the Galaxy S23 Ultra is a bit better than if you compare with the S24 Ultra. You can see a bit of more noise is going on with the S24 Ultra, so that is a minor win for the S23 Ultra. And again, this is the 4K at 60 FPS with the stabilization, and both of them just nail the situations. Both are really good. Next is regarding the 4K at 60 FPS, and if you observe really close the Galaxy S24 Ultra, there is a minor glitch going on over here. Let me play the video from start, so to get an idea. So if you observe my head over here, so you can see from this area, you can see there is a minor glitch. You can see my head is like copy pasting like it. You can see. So a minor glitch is going on with the S24 Ultra in this what do we call rear camera cinematic video. 4K at 120 FPS. You can see the smoothness of that video. You can see it's really super smooth. You can see, so it's went like a flow of water, so that's really smooth, buttery smooth on the S24 Ultra. 4K at 60 FPS with the stabilization on both of them. At 60 FPS. So I'm gonna run. Yes, for Ultra rear camera, 4K 30 FPS rear camera. Now shooting on the 1x mode, we can also shoot 2x as well as 3x for the S3X. 2x is not available for the S23 Ultra, but it is for the S24 Ultra. Okay, so you can see. So okay, that's it. So that's it. Recording on the S23 Ultra. On the S23 Ultra. But actually we can't change the lens after we turned on the video. You can see it can switch between the lenses like this. Okay. Which is best? Obviously, you can see both have some minor issues, especially the S23 Ultra at night mode. It's really warm, and if you look at the colors, the S24 Ultra is more into natural, versus this S23 Ultra more into the saturated colors. And in my preference, in most of scenarios, I do like the colors of the S24 Ultra rather than the S23 Ultra. It's based upon your preference. If you are in a bit saturated, not over saturated like the Xiaomi does, it's a bit saturated and an eye pleasant one on the S23 Ultra. Versus if you are like the iPhone type of natural tones with a light vibrancy that everyone expected, that is happening on the S24 Ultra. And obviously there is a minor glitch happening on the S24 Ultra in terms of the low light videography, normal portrait videography, as well as in the night mode. So if these three areas get improved, obviously in the February the security patch, this would be perfectly resolved and a perfect blended S24 Ultra which can beat S23 Ultra in every areas would be released so soon. So in this comparison, I would give 8 points for the Galaxy S23 Ultra and 9 points for the S24 Ultra. So guys, that's it for today. Signing off, it's Phone Mania.